Hi, this is Ed Munn, and for this assignment I've chosen to create a screencast tutorial of a geography resource I found on the National Geographic website. This resource, called the MapMaker Interactive, can be reached by typing in the link above and clicking on the mapping drop-down box, which will lead you right to this resource. I find this resource would best suit an assignment or lesson for my classroom because it essentially makes geography interactive for the students. So the first thing I'd like to do is scroll down to the bottom here and click this link to make the map full screen. Okay, so when it first opens, you can see it shows a certain area of the world. But if you move over to this area of the map itself, I can zoom in and out to see more of the world map. If you want to get more specific, you can see that across the top of this toolbar, you can select a region to explore. So let's click Europe, for example. And then you can select a country. So let's go with France. And you can see it zooms right into that area and even showcases some cities, major highways, and capital. Another nice thing about this, on the bottom of the map, you can see the longitude and latitude of wherever you are, well, wherever the mouse is positioned when you're not in full screen. So for the rest of this tutorial, I'm going to zoom out back to the original map we had. Now you can see we have some options to the left-hand side, and it's separated into three categories: themes, drawing tools, and markers. So let's talk about themes first. The really nice thing about these options is that they're similar to different themes of geography. You have your physical systems, including water, land, and climate, human systems with population and culture, and political and economic, and environment and society. So as I click the drop-down box of each of these topics, you can see each category has a subject topic to cover. If I click on water and the ocean surface currents, a small description box pops up about the topic. And the data is displayed automatically on our map to the right. If we wanted to look at what categories are offered under land, we can just click the link and you can see everything from earthquakes to surface elevation. Again, if I click on plate tectonics, for example, you would be able to see a description of it in this box. And it is also displayed on the map itself. In this category, it also allows you to change the transparency of the overlay depending on how well you want to see the countries behind it. So you can see if you click on each of these boxes, it offers you something else to look at. This one is actually pretty interesting. If I click on the lights at night, it'll show you patterns of light at night all around the world, and you'll notice where the most populous areas are on the top of that. Now that you've seen a bit of what the themes options has to offer, I'll show you how to utilize the drawing tools and markers. The basic function of these options is to draw lines from point A to point B and place pictured markers along the way. You can also find these options on the map itself through these quick links. For my purposes, I could see this working for both a geography and a history lesson. So for this example, let's say I had an assignment to replicate the Lewis and Clark Trail through America. First, I can click on the region and then zoom in from there. So to begin, we'll click and drag a star marker over to where St. Louis is on the map, and where Lewis and Clark began their expedition. Then if you click the freeform line, you can click and drag a rough outline of where their trail began and ended. You can also change the look of this line as the color and width as you choose. Once this is done, we can add a finishing flag at the end. If you wanted to get more elaborate, you could add certain historic points along the trail with labels and more markers. Whether you have a theme on your map or markers, you can download a file of the map when you're finished in order to save it for later. You can also work on a previously saved map that you want to work on again. If I exit out of the full screen and look above the map, you also have options to email, print, share, and link your final map. So that's the end of the tutorial. As you can see, this resource would be an excellent device to use for the classroom and make students interested in the learning process. Thank you.